giant stalker, dragon stalker, crypt stalker, demon stalker, rift stalker, ground stalker, grip stalker, scourge stalker, wind runner. I'm a pony, leaf skill hunter, a death dealer, a life stealer. That's just the cost of being awesome sauce.
And welcome to episode 249 of the Hunting Party Podcast. I am Darkbrew from thebrewhall.com and the Brew Hall on Twitter.
I'm Delerium from Thrill of the Wild and at Delerium Hunts on Twitter.
And I'm Bendak from Eyes of the Beast, Blizzard Watch, and Bendak WoW on Twitter.
And I'm RogerBrown from methodwow.com and at methodroger on Twitter.
See, we need an intro for Foxy. I knew this was going to happen.
I don't have an intro.
I was like, do I pause and wait for her to just naturally,
figure it out,
something, or do I just move on and then look like I just completely ignored her and just snubbed her entirely? So,
oh my God! And I'm Foxy from nothing to this, and this Logan on Twitter.
and this little thing called the Warcraft Hunters Union. Let's not forget
and Warcraft Hunters Union.
All right. Well, today is Sunday, November 13th, 2016, and we are broadcasting live on twitch.tv. And you can participate in the live chat room where our lovely moderator, Ali Sonder, is there to take your questions. And so this is great. We have a totally packed house today. This is the first time I think we've had everybody here to do a show. So we'll see how it goes. This is unfamiliar, uncharted territory almost. But we're all back from Blizzcon. I think pretty much. Well, let's see. Bendak, unfortunately, and Ali were the only ones who weren't able to make it, but the rest of us all were there and had a chance to say hello and enjoy. So why don't we just talk about BlizzCon a little bit and give our thoughts and impressions on everything there.
Yeah, so we're going to have to rely on Bendak and Ali for all of our information.
Yeah, exactly.
Learn a lot more from the videos than from being there live. So, guys, what happened at BlizzCon? I didn't even see.
Well, it wasn't very much of the Hunter talk that I was hoping for sure. But we did hear some interesting mentions in the Q&A about some mistakes they made with the Hunter specs that I thought was interesting. Yeah. I thought that was interesting that he admitted to that was a mistake. But I was also very happy that it seems as though we're looking for a correction. So.
Yeah, so that was kind of the big news that actually was mentioned during the Legion What's Next panel, that hunters are going to be getting traps back. So why don't we talk about that for a minute? And Bendak, what did you think about that? And what kind of traps do you think we'll see?
I think it's awesome that we're getting them back. As for what traps, I think freezing for sure. Hopefully tar trap as well, but I'm not sure about explosive trap, just because I don't know if it even serves much of a purpose for the other specs, without it being, because it's just going to do too much damage. They'd have to give us like a nerfed version, and I don't know what the point of it would be.
All I want in life, in my entire life, is to get explosive trap, but with the glyph. I just want to knock people off of bridges, knock people off of Eye of the Storm. That's all I care about. Please just let me knock people off. The end.
Yeah. And what about you, Roger, for the traps? Are you looking forward to getting the traps back, and what are you hoping for?
Yeah, of course. Have some utility finally. Especially slow traps have always been kind of useful in certain scenarios where okay, here's the slow, I can just drag the mobs over here, and like it's very visual, let's say. And I don't know, obviously, but I'm like kind of thinking that they will give different kind of names of the traps to the two specs. So, and they will be kind of nerfed versions of the survival ones. So instead of, let's say, tar trap, I think they're going to give us frost trap from, back in the day. Ice trap, whatever it was called. Yeah.
I think it was called both at one point, right? It was frost trap initially, and then it was changed to ice trap. And
right. Because it was too confusing with frost and freezing. Yeah. So they just said, okay. But yeah, something like frost trap, which has a, not a huge slope, not as big as tar trap, let's say, or not as long as tar trap. I don't know. They have to make survival feel like, oh, I have better traps, right? So I think they're gonna give us nerfed versions of that, and yeah, I think the only two traps we're probably gonna the ones the freezing and the slow trap. I don't think they're gonna give us any explosive trap. I'm not sure, obviously, but I think they've said like, yo, we need to bring more utility back because we took too much away, and now classes don't feel the same. It's not about the damage part so much.
But the knockback.
Yeah, like
You have
maybe
to
they
win my
make
dreams.
maybe they make
Yeah.
a specific trap called a knockback trap. That would be nice.
Yeah, MM feels like, just a cannon. Like I just stand there and shoot. I don't offer any help. I just stand there and like, good luck guys. I hope you got that. I'm just gonna stand here and shoot arrows. So
But it's definitely good that, like, for sure, you do feel like you don't have much stuff to do in terms of contributing in like a 5-man dungeon or even a raid. Like, what do you really do in a raid? The only thing you kind of bring is a binding shot. That's it.
Exactly. I mean, I wonder if there'd be any chance that we'd see like bear trap. I mean, this is something. I mean, I feel like they've wanted to give us bear trap over the years, and they've just never been able to do it. Maybe this will be the opportunity now to give us bear trap. I have no idea what it would do, but
They'll give it to you, but it's purely cosmetic.
yeah,
Only works on those cute little baby bears in Hyjal.
oh my god.
but maybe that would be like instead of the and see again, is it so freezing trap was the CC, right? See, I always get the ice frost trap was easy for me because it lays down a patch of frost, and then I got freezing and ice trap all mixed up. So whatever the one that maybe bear trap will be the CC, right? Just puts like a big bear trap in that'll the one that will root you in place and CC.
I vote for frostine trap. Just a bunch of sticky cream cheese frosting everywhere.
And snake trap was another one that we lost too.
Snake trap was great.
Wow.
Yeah. Not sure about that one. I don't know.
For soloing and such, it was wonderful.
I don't think they're gonna.
That one I don't feel like they would give back, but
Didn't really feel like something. It had like a specific idea, right? I was just cheesing some things and some weird shenanigans. It doesn't have a clear role in your toolkit.
Shouldn't cheesing and shenanigans be a clear role?
Not anymore. Not anymore. It used to be like that, but now it's just simple stuff.
And then I also assume that they'd give us the trap launcher ability back again as well. I think that they'd almost have to do that, but I mean, they didn't necessarily say that.
Yeah, when did trap launcher become a thing?
Mr. Pandaria.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, because we had the one trap like that was the freezing arrow or something in Cataclysm, and then they just gave us trap launcher in Mr. Pandaria, and then they kind of broke it in Warlords of Draenor before they fixed it. In that I forget, right in Warlords it would toggle off like if you changed talents or something. It was annoying.
So not a problem in fights, but you think you're about to launch a trap and it's at your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man, when that broke and I was losing it, I was all over Twitter with that.
I think it'll just be like the survival traps minus explosive trap, where it just defaults to the launcher.
Could be, but I do think that it's going to be nerfed versions of them. Like, I think the survival will have the stronger traps overall. That's just because it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, that kind of be what he was saying.
Yeah, it makes sense that it would be that way.
Well, they gave examples of how they could make survivals stronger in one of the interviews, which we'll get to. Trying to find it in the notes here.
Yeah, that would definitely be an option instead of nerfing them for us.
One of the ideas they were floating was if the trap persists on the ground for some amount of time without being triggered, it becomes empowered. So you can like preset a trap out for a few seconds, and then when the mob runs into it, it does more damage or his CC is better
Yeah,
or
that's
something
fun.
like that. And only survival would have that.
Wait, survival still has camouflage, right? As an option.
Uh,
Um,
yeah,
I think so.
I
Only
think
BM
so.
doesn't?
Is BM the one that doesn't have it? Yeah, who doesn't have it? I mean, Marksman has it certainly as a
Marksman
talent
has it,
option.
yeah.
BM does not.
What do they have instead? Oh yeah, the stun from the pet, right?
Yeah.
Intimidation.
Hmm.
I mean, am I a bad hunter because I haven't even touched survival until recently? I actually gave it some of the, the relics that I'm not going to use for any of my other weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you're
this
not a
is-
bad hunter. I mean, I'm worse than you, and I mean, I haven't even gone out and gotten that artifact yet, which I've been meaning
Oh
to
my
do.
God.
So,
No,
so
you're bad. No.
I don't even have the survival artifact, so I still need to do that.
Yeah, I've totally neglected it because I just can't. I just can't bring myself to be melee. I just can't do it.
But I mean, there are hunters though. I mean, we know Solar plays survival, and was Dilly
Yeah,
also
Dilly
playing
too.
survival? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, he does.
So we saw him at BlizzCon, and he mentioned he was a survival hunter. In fact, I think they those two ran into each other, and I saw a picture of that they posted saying,
Huh.
two survival hunters, probably maybe the only
only
two
two.
survival hunters.
Yeah, I hung out with him and his girlfriend quite a while on I think it was Friday night. He's such a good guy.
Yeah, make a note. So we should mental note to get him on here and talk about PvP and survival. We could kill two birds with one stone there. But let's just looking through the notes here. So Bendak, you had touched upon that survival, and I guess that came out of there was an interview with Sloopbag did an interview with Jan Hazikustis in the. So let's get into some of that because there were some other hunter mentions in there, and one of the things that I'm looking at here was saying marksmanship hunters may get some base talent changes in 7.1.5, and they did mention that at the what's next panel for Legion at BlizzCon that they were looking at talent changes in this smaller patch. And looks like they might be targeting the patient sniper row. So, I mean, I don't know if that comes as a surprise, but what is on that row? I have to go look real quick.
It's the Sentinel, which is you have two charges and you put them enemies close there. So it's just you put the hunter's mark, so you mark shot all of the targets, and the explosive shot. So
Well, he basically implied that the baseline Marks gameplay is going to be patient sniper or something close to that.
Yeah, which is what they tried with the last patch. The 7.1 they tried to make it closer to patient sniper in hopes that that wouldn't be the only viable build. And it just didn't quite go far enough.
Yeah, I don't know though. I kind of like the playstyle as it is right now. I hope explosive shot doesn't end up that we need to use because it seems cool and it's fun to use a couple of times, but don't know if I would actually like it to be the main thing.
Yeah, when the pressure's on, it's rough.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan there, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't like Sidewinders. I don't enjoy it, the playstyle it brings, so I hope there's something viable that's not Sidewinders, but still does some ridiculous damage.
Well, I mean, that's sort of the question is, I mean, what would the impact then be, if patient sniper, for example, were to become baseline and no longer be a talent and just be kind of built into the spec? I mean, would that then still make Sidewinders your mandatory talent at level 100 or?
It's too hard to say, to be honest. If they're gonna buff the other two talents, obviously that might impact it. Because Sidewinders is competing with piercing shot, which it doesn't work as well with patient sniper, I think, because you dump a lot of your focus into piercing shots quite often. And for patient sniper to be worthy, you need to have that 100 focus your mark shot, right? So if you have a situation where, oh, should I mark shot now to get the patient sniper debuff up, but like piercing shots to use all my focus, or do I do a double aim shot?
Mhm.
It's kind of awkward in that sense. Piercing shot is, I don't know. I don't think it. And I mean, trick shot is just a passive, just extra damage. But I don't think they want to make the last talent be a passive. Like be the best choice. They've always kind of tried at least to make it so that the active abilities are better.
Yeah, piercing shot to me makes the spec. I know it's all the devs' favorite word is clunky. And it's just you spend so much time spamming multi-shot or arcane shot to get your focus back that I don't know, it's not fun, it's not really engaging to me. It's just hit it and then rebuild, hit it, rebuild. So in that, I don't know. Yeah, and trick shot's passive, so I would hope they would just remake some of these talents.
Mm-hmm.
Piercing shot / headshot it was kind of interesting when it first came out. And it was also, like one-shotting everything. So it was just ridiculous amounts of damage. So that was kind of fun. But now that it's not that powerful, it doesn't feel worth losing all of your focus over. But I think both of these, and both piercing shots, sidewinders, and patient sniper, the problem with them from a design philosophy, at least in my opinion, is they kind of negate the mechanics of the spec. Instead of like enhancing the mechanics or adding something to them, they negate it and make you do something else. And so it seems weird that those are then necessarily the best talents for the spec.
Yeah, I mean, it's really dictated sort of the gameplay and sort of I don't say flavor of the month, but sort of the direction that most of the marksmanship players have gone, right? I mean, it doesn't seem like doesn't feel like there's any other option at this point other than patient sniper and sidewinders. And I mean, really, that was just meant to be sort of one type of gameplay available to marksmanship, but it's clearly just dominated. And I mean, I don't know how they'll change it because, and they also don't want to do like major overhauls, right? I mean, they think in one of their interviews they mentioned that those are the major overhauls. Those types of things are what they reserve for expansions, and not something they tend to do midstream or even for a major patch. So I mean, they're clearly looking just to sort of tweak things and kind of smooth them out rather than just make major game changing changes.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with marksmanship, if you don't use patient sniper, is the whole ramp up that you have to do. So if you're doing like a dungeon, let's say,
Yep.
are you really gonna go to 3 stacks of that vulnerable debuff often? And then until you get there, you feel like you're doing nothing. Meanwhile, you see like a demon hunter flying in and just AoEing everything down, and you're like, oh, I need to still build my stacks up. And then you get more frustrated to the procs because then you're like, oh, come on, proc, man, proc. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if they changed how, if you don't have patient sniper, look at that kind of rotation and try to make it better or more fluid or something. Because right now it's just so much easier. That's the thing. It's even if it's the same DPS, patient sniper will still be the best because of how much simpler it makes things. Because the ramp up is non-existent. You just go in and you do full damage instantly, which is a huge thing, especially in dungeons and outdoor as well. Like, who wants to build 3 stacks on a mob outside? Like, what?
And even in raids too, you're trying to be on the priority target, and you don't want to spend all your time building up to doing damage, and then the target's dead, and you're going back to building up damage on the boss. It's just meh. It's a meh spec.
What I would like though is if they would end up.
You cut out there.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
So I said I I would like to see some changes to the BM spec because I think that they could make it a lot more interesting if they tweaked a few things so that there's so much downtime, or I don't know, make it so that there is something, some form of spec, so talents that you can increase your skill cap of the spec. Because right now it feels like it's too easy and you can't really do much to be better at it. It's just you do what you do and that's it. So if there were a few new talents possibly, or change some talents so that it's not this cookie cutter build where everything is passive basically, then that would be nice. Because I'm telling you, okay, prediction right here. I've told that to Celestalon as well in person. I think Hunters are going to get nerfed after this raid that we're currently going into. Because Hunters are... No, this Trial of Valor. Because I think they're going to nerf Mark Shot when they see the numbers that people do on Helia, for example.
Yeah.
Which is what they should have done to begin with, to be honest, instead of nerfing aimed shots. But yeah, so I'm looking at BM as the savior for Nighthold.
Well, what do you think about BM? I mean, Bendak, you're the one who's been primarily playing that. I mean, where do you think what do you think it's in need of right now?
Pretty much the same stuff Roger said. It just it's got too many talents that just aren't worth taking, and it does need one more little thing in its rotation just to, like you said, to give you an opportunity to improve yourself more and not just. I feel like BM right now it's really good for progression, at least in my guild. But then I find that so when we're progressing, I'm like top of the meters, but then as it moves on to like farming the content, start dropping because everyone starts learning the fights and knowing when to move and all that stuff. And for me, it's just like, well, I was already doing my max DPS and I can't do anything else.
Yep.
Well, Chimera Shot, I mean, is that something that feels mandatory or something you think they could make baseline? Would that help at all if they were to do that and replace that talent with something else?
I mean, it'd be nice to have another ability, but I don't think it would just fix the spec or anything. They did hint that they're going to make some talents go baseline, but it seemed like they were more referring to popular talents, and I don't think Chimera Shot's very popular right now. So right now it seems Stomp that's what everyone takes. So, yeah. I mean, they even buffed Stomp in 7.1, even though it was already ahead, which is kind of funny.
And have you played much BM, Foxy, this expansion? I think you've been strictly marksman for the most part, right?
For raiding, yeah, I've been marksman, but specific soloing content, I'll go BM like for wither training, and that's probably the extent of it. But I've also still been leveling my BM artifact. It's far behind my MM artifact, but it's not so far to where I can't catch up quickly if I needed to for raid.
Yeah, that's sort of my question, because I'm thinking I haven't kept up my BM artifact, not even close to the same degree as I've done my marksmanship. But I mean, is that something that, based on what you were saying, Roger, people out there should start thinking about doing, maybe just to be ready?
Well, right now I wouldn't suggest that, but because the way that artifact knowledge works, you can always just catch up quite quickly if you decide to. So doing a little bit of both right now doesn't really help you that much. But just be ready. I don't know, like try to get a couple of relics, for example. Don't complete in the spec, or maybe if you already have some good legendaries like I do for MM.
Switch it up. Nobody wants to hear about your legendaries.
I mean, yeah, okay. But
well, speaking of relics, somebody got one last night.
Yeah, actually got an 890 relic from a mythic dungeon. I was not expecting that at all, and it was a storm as well, so I had to choose. But obviously, I chose MM. Yeah, that's
highest I have is 885. So
yeah, it's this new system where anything can happen. You know, you can do a level 2 mythic dungeon and get an 895. It's really good.
I kind of like that actually. It's kind of because keeps you going, keeps you wondering what might happen, but
Well, they did a good job of catering to the casual player. Like you don't have to step foot in a mythic raid to get mythic gear. I think it's good for the casual player, but at the same token, those of us that do raids, like,
So it's probably another topic, but I guess the question, but that's the thought though. I mean, but if you do the mythic raid, obviously you're going to get that gear at a much faster rate than everybody else. And I guess the question is that okay, or is that still somehow a little bit seem unsatisfactory in some ways?
I think it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, there is one person out there apparently who has every legendary for their class at this point. That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, I have the 2 worst, so I mean.
Oh.
Wait, what's your second?
What's that?
Do you have the ring and which one?
In the neck.
Oh my goodness.
See, you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Magnum Opus.
Oh
Feels
my
good.
god, man.
See, I had the neck forever. Like I got it really early in the expansion, but like a week or 2 ago, I actually got the Bestial Wrath belt. So
nice.
Pretty happy about that.
That's nice.
And you can equip both, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
Right? I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Speaking of legendaries, they're buffing them on Tuesday.
Yeah, they went up 10 item levels, I believe.
What is it, like 9-10 is the item level,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Wait, hadn't they said they were doing something about the wearable ones?
Yeah, they said something, but no one knows what.
Oh. So
That'll be
maybe
in
my
the
ring will
tier.
be the best legendary soon.
That would be great if they would make mine better than Roger's. That would be
I'd
great.
be okay with that
Let's not go too far, shall we?
And not only do you have 2 legendaries, Roger, right? You have like pretty much the best ones at that.
Yeah, but okay, so I got lucky in that regard, but I still don't have my 3rd legendary.
Oh, come on, Roger, you're so greedy.
There's people in my guild that have 4 legendaries on their main and their alt. And I'm just sitting here spamming dungeons with my main and still not getting a 3rd one. I don't know. I think I should be getting my 3rd one pretty soon.
But if you have the 2 best ones, does it matter?
Yeah, but I want the BM one.
Oh, the BM. Oh, you see, you're setting loot spec to BM. Oh.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing that. But I'm scared that I'll never get my best in slot, so.
Ouch.
What did I want to say? They said they're gonna nerf some really overpowered ones as well. Like there's a DK unholy one that basically is mandatory for the spec to be viable at this point. And they said they're gonna nerf that, so if you're an unholy DK, better go to Frost, because there's no salvaging that spec anymore. And the mage bracers, which make the pyroblast hardcast hit for triple damage and stuff, and it's apparently like insane. It gives you like 30 or 40,000 damage extra, so it's really good. So they said they're gonna nerf those because they felt too strong.
Yeah, I don't think any of the hunter ones have any fear of being nerfed like that.
I don't think so.
Maybe the ring is pretty good, you guys.
Oh my
You should
god,
probably try to
stop
get
it. Just stop it, man.
Wait, which thing are we talking about? The Zephyrs or the
Zephyrs.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I got the legendary and just immediately logged off. I wasn't excited.
That's what I did. That's exactly what I did.
I logged off. I was
Like, I'm
like,
done.
whatever.
I almost canceled my subscription. No, but it is really good, you guys. If you want to trade, I'm open to it.
You can have it, buddy.
But so they're getting buffed. So what else so maybe we'll talk about something I guess we can all look forward to, but that the class mount that we're getting. And what did you call it, Bendak? You had a good, I think Bendak coined the term of what this thing was. What did you call it?
It's like a wolf and an eagle, so a weagle.
A Weagle. Yeah.
A
So I think
Weagle.
I think we're calling it the Weagle.
Somebody in chat had a good name. Was it Chicken Hawk?
Chicken Wolf.
Chicken Wolf.
Chicken
I
Wolf.
like that. I'm gonna stick with that one. The Chicken Wolf.
I have to say, when they announce, I mean, it's nice to see that they're doing this actually, because with Warlords of Draenor, I mean, they were just completely resisting flying, right? They just didn't want to give us flying at all, and it was, and now they've at least, not only have they just sort of embraced the concept. I mean, you know, they're giving us flying, and they're giving us something cool to fly around in. I mean,
Well, not as cool
Actually-
as Siemens though.
no, they really got
Shamans.
Oh man.
the best one of the deal. I agree with you there.
Wait, have we heard any more about this quest? Because like Rock Delar, I mean, that was only pretty top players getting it.
Mhm.
Or you definitely, you know, people were studying for it. There were guides for it and stuff. So I'm curious if it's really going to be a challenge or if it'll just be kind of everybody gets one.
I think it's everybody. It's just a continuation of the class campaign, so it's content for everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's too bad. They made it sound really cool.
Wait, I thought what referring to like the some hard solo content.
Mhm.
Are
That
you
is
saying
for the
that?
appearance.
That is
That's
for
the-
the appearance of a weapon.
Oh,
right,
not
yeah.
for the mount.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's cool then.
Yeah, I think that's actually gonna be very interesting. I
Do
like
we have
that.
the picture up for that somewhere?
They showed it, but I don't think it looked that amazing. The
Yeah, but still, it's just for the fun. It's
It's
kind of like Rock
like
Delar,
the,
isn't
yeah,
it?
it's the journey that is the
Yeah.
towards
yeah.
it. It's not the
Yeah,
reward.
you have it on your document there. It doesn't.
Yeah, we do. I know right now. I think we're showing the. We just showed the
Oh, the video.
mount,
Got it.
the mount video for the folks.
I'm still looking for the other picture.
Mhm.
This is
Well,
not
we
good
have-
prep. Not good prep.
No, no, it's fine.
Yeah, who hired
the-
this guy?
Yeah, yeah, in the show notes we have a image
Oh.
of the slide for
Oh.
the artifact appearances.
Is that where it is?
that-
Oh,
that
I
are
was looking
coming.
for it. Hold on.
Yeah, it's on the document. Yeah.
The
Anyway,
gun could be kind of cool depending on what
Yes.
like what the animation's like.
Yeah, that's that. I believe that's the picture that I took when I was looking at the Q&A there at BlizzCon.
is it a gun or a crossbow?
It's some
a
kind of
clip.
hybrid.
Yeah, that's a gun. I don't think the BM hunters get anything other than guns, correct, for their appearances.
Well, they got the mechanical bow.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got
Okay,
the mechanical. bow.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, speaking of appearances, I just realized a couple of days ago that whoever made the hidden appearances for hunters must have really been bored, or because
Oh man.
like I go to Dalaran first
Mhm.
days of the expansion. I go to the engineering vendor. I find my BM hidden appearance, and I'm like, all right, that was whatever. Like, okay,
enough.
guess. Well,
You didn't know that
And
was
then-
there?
no, I knew that from the first days. Like but I didn't know before I saw it, but I got it like the first 3 days or something of the expansion. But
Mhm.
then I thought to myself, okay, so the other specs must have like this cool stuff like the other ones where you have to find something and then blah 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 blah. And then a couple of days ago, someone gets an achievement, one of our hunters in our guild, about with doing 100 dungeons with a hidden appearance of your weapon. I'm like, oh, so you got it? Oh, how do you get it? And it's like, you just go to a vendor and buy it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, so the MM one is also just go to a vendor. Oh, you need
Yeah. So
revered.
you have to get rough.
Wow, you need revered. Like,
I believe that's the ones of the quarter of Ferrandis, right? I think that's
yeah.
Yeah,
So, I
got that
mean,
way.
I don't know. I just
Yeah,
why?
come on, Roger. Welcome to 3 months ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of uneventful for Roger. There's a script you can run to see how close you are to finishing that actual achievement. I found on Wowhead.
I mean, I'm just using I'm transmodding it anyways, so I don't
Yeah.
look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's that one's like a crossbow sort of appearance. It's okay.
Yeah, I thought it was ugly. I did not like it. I'm sticking with the Sylvanas-esque one.
Hmm. But I'm guessing that the survival one is not from a vendor. hopefully.
Drops off Ursoc.
Oh, so just
Oh, is that
random
right?
drops.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nothing
Aye.
else. Yeah.
Oh man.
So kind of like a
Were you-
vendor, I guess.
Were you hoping that you were gonna have to kill some raid boss or something to get it, like, and then go through like a 20 long quest chain to get it, Roger? Is that what you were
Yeah,
hoping
like some excitement. I don't know. What is this?
No. I know buying it from a vendor is kind of uneventful.
Like, why is it a hidden appearance then? Just
Not so hidden.
not hidden,
It's
yeah.
hidden because
Out
that's
in
the
the
last
open
place you think to
appearance.
find it.
It was,
True.
hidden, it was hidden from you. Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
there's no way they did for the other spec. That's some. They got me there, I guess. Yeah. Anyways,
But yeah, so that quest chain, I know, and the fact that they mentioned specifically Rock Delar, which certainly got my attention too.
yeah, it was one of the most fun experiences I had in World of Warcraft. So I'm excited to do something similar to it. Although I think I'm probably gonna get disappointed. Oh, we'll
Yeah,
see.
I'll be really impressed if they actually come up with something of similar difficulty. Mostly because we don't have similar utility as we used to. So I'm guessing it'll be something more like, remember the Fell Wolf? Last expansion when you killed Fel, Rengari, Anara.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, you had to, it wasn't hard, but you had to know the toolkit of a hunter if you did it by yourself, or you could just serve it down with some friends. So I'm guessing it'll be like that, but solo.
Yeah, you're probably right there. Yeah.
Solo content is nice though, like
Mhm.
kind of challenging solo content, because
Yeah.
they don't really do much of that.
No, and the fact that they're doing it for and making it class based too, which is kind of nice because it's a fair bit of work. So moving on a little bit here, secondary stats are something they were looking to change. I guess the PTR will be up, I think, next week. They were shooting for. This is for that 7.1.5, which I think was going to have some tuning to the secondary stats. Any thoughts on what they might be doing there? I mean, their goal is to make it so that if you see a piece of gear and it's got a higher item level, it would be more attractive. It would be viewed as probably being an upgrade, which isn't the case now, right? I mean, you get something with mastery on it, and you're just like, oh yes, that's the best piece.
Yeah, I think it's
Versus
pretty fair to say that they're gonna nerf mastery for MM.
Mm-hmm.
It's out of
I
control.
have no idea why it's as powerful as it is right now. It's not an interesting stat. It's just a straight damage increase. It
Well, it's
doesn't
because
affect your playstyle or anything.
Yeah, the problem I think with it is that it just works on every single ability of yours. That's the thing. Like it
Yeah,
increases the damage of your focus spending abilities. That's all my damage.
that's everything.
Like it's the same as versatility, just better, basically.
Yeah. And you get a range increase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice sometimes, yeah.
I would suggest that if you've vendored any higher eye level stuff, you just like restore all of those items just in case, because you don't know what they're gonna do, right?
Yeah, especially the rings and necks.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a pack rat for that reason. Like I have so much gear in my bags. I just know that that's what happens, and then I'm stuck, or somebody gets stuck because they don't have anything to swap out.
But that's a good point. I mean, and it's not hard to do. I don't know how far back some of those vendored items go, but it's pretty far. It's pretty decent,
Well, just
Yeah,
a,
it's something like 90 days or something.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just a reminder that void storage is still a thing now that you've cleared it out of transmog, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Yeah, I've cleared it. Yeah,
He did.
I've done that.
That's a hard work, man. It's hard work. I need a secretary to make a while.
It's like-
It is. It's tedious. It is tedious.
It's like picking your least favorite child. How can you do that? Like,
I would actually love to see Roger's void storage. I imagine he's got stuff in there that nobody's seen since like forever.
I kept
Well,
all my Crypt Stalker stuff.
I have basically every tier set stored up there. I don't want to sell those.
But now with the transmog, right? You don't need it. The set bonuses are effectively disabled, so no real need to keep it.
I know.
He just won't let go.
I was actually a little disappointed they did that with the set bonuses, only because of the whole time walking. I thought it'd be a fun way to kind of tinker around and pull out the actual gear and those old trinkets and things like that, and see what works best.
Yeah, I think they removed those because it was gonna be too hard for them to, because there's always like these little tricks where you, they change the class, then they're like, oh, you equip your tier 6, and then you use an ability before going in combat, and then use the macro to put the proper gear back on, and it's like, yeah, just remove all of that so we don't have to think about this.
Yeah.
But is that for time watching, since you said it, we still have a very good tier set from HFC, which still works fine, which makes your aim shots be instant casts. So I'm using that.
That's a good point. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Actually, I think hunters are probably one of the most broken class in time watching. If you use the best gear possible, you do a lot of damage. And speaking of time watching, I'm excited to see Mist of Pandaria time watching. I want to see how that goes.
I think that'll be fun. I mean, it's not the best feature, but it's something to do, and it's kind of interesting. Revisiting.
It's an extra seal.
Yeah, they're probably gonna add some new stuff as well. You can buy from there, I guess.
Yeah, I've been saving my badges because I want to see what mount they put for mists, because I haven't bought any of the mounts yet.
Well, we've got a couple of questions from the chat room. If anybody's not got anything else to talk about,
Yeah,
we can talk all day. But
yeah, no. So what is the chat room asking, Allie?
well, someone named Alexander is asking Roger.
Oh.
Since I was watching your stream yesterday, and you guys, after your victorious run from hell, went off to do a lot of PvP. Do you happen to know how hunters are doing in PvP? Because, you know, method, the arena, teams, and just in general. I mean, I know your gear is like crazy good, but, you know, just how do you think we're doing in PvP?
From my little knowledge of PvP, and I mean very little, I think, well, if we're talking about arenas and like, you know, competitive PvP, not so good from what I've seen. I haven't seen many hunters, let's just say, out there. I think there is some BM hunters, but that's about it. But I don't think it's like the best as it was in the past sometimes. I think right now it's mostly like feral druids and enhancement shamans, like things like that for some reason are really good right now. I don't know why. But yeah, for battlegrounds and casual PvPing, I think we're great. You go there in the battleground, you use your sidewinders, and you just cleave the whole team. It's perfect. And you stay 50 yards away as well, so they cannot catch you. And you get a scatter shot back, so you have, like, imagine a melee comes close to you. First, you bursting shot him. He's like disorientated. Then he's like, oh, I got you now. Nope, you scatter shot him, so he's disorientated again. All right, that must be it. And then you drop the binding shot, and he's tilted. You know, so I think it's pretty fun to play in BGs where you're not, you know, just casually strolling around and hitting stuff, and you don't teammates. but in an actual arena scenario, not so good.
Is this
Okay,
because
that sounds fun.
is this because you can't like ride in and just barrage everything in an arena?
Yeah, in an arena, if you play MM, they will just line of sight the hell out of you, and it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
do see
do-
it. You do see a few teams playing with a BM Hunter for both Jungle Cleave and Beast Cleave, with the two melees that you just said with Feral and Enhancement, and it's usually because you can just hide the whole time and let your pets hit him, and your pets
Exactly.
do most of your damage passively. So there's just a constant pressure, and then those amazing burst classes like Kitty Cats and Enhancement Shamans can do their thing, just do what they do, and so you're just kind of out of the way, which is not the funnest way to play an arena, but yeah, I guess it's something.
Yeah, BMs have this unique thing that a lot of their damage is from the pet, plus they can just do all their damage while moving, which is obviously insane for PvP. It's always better if you're moving instead of standing still.
Right.
All right. Well, Naravia TV asked, is anyone playing BM at the mythic level? Seems very competitive, just not played much. I'm sticking with it and so far pretty successful.
Yeah, I think there are a few people playing. It's
Yeah,
there's
there's-
nothing wrong with it if you enjoy the spec, especially at this point. If your guild's killing bosses, then you're playing the right spec, I guess.
Yeah, and as Roger hinted, maybe BM will be something
Yeah.
we'll all be playing.
Yeah, sorry. I kind of lagged out there for a sec, but I
In a
guess the
raid near
question
you.
was the question about playing BM in a raid?
Yes,
Right,
or
right.
at mythic level, right? I assume that means mythic rating versus say mythics, but
Okay. Yeah, I think it's fine, honestly. BM has really good single target as well if you pick certain talents. So it's really not that bad. It's just a bit worse than MM, basically. So, but if you're, as Bendak was saying, if you're progressing on a fight and you don't know exactly what's going on and you want something stable or whatever, just, something secure and easy to play, especially let's say if you're a raid leader, that's a great spec to play as a raid leader because you don't have to think much about your rotation, right?
Right.
yeah.
So I do see I'm not saying BM is bad at all. I even say it on my stream that it's just a little bit worse,
Right.
and I think I really think it's gonna be a Nighthold. I have this feeling. Mainly because MM will probably get, and then we're gonna all be playing BM.
Yeah. I have the same view. I don't think it's bad at all, but since people have been progressing their MM artifacts more so, of course your MM spec is going to be better than your BM, but you can say the same way if you've been progressing your BM more than MM, it will obviously be better.
Yeah. The only good thing is that the stats are basically the same. So you want mastery and haste for both the specs, which is good. But other than that, you cannot really swap specs as easily anymore. It's about the what's it called? It's not only because of the artifact power, which obviously is a pretty big, but it's also the relics. I think off spec is always going to suffer a lot because, sure, we do share some relics with BM, but you're always going to put your best relic on your main spec, right? So if
Correct.
you're
Yeah,
playing
absolutely.
MM, you're not going to say, oh, let's just put this in BM. So it's a struggle. You need to really, if you're going to switch, I would suggest doing so after you're done progressing on something, after you're done with, whatever you want to do in a raid. And then you're like, okay, for the next raid, I'm going to play BM, so I will prepare for that and I'll stop a MM spec, for example.
She's also asking, is the honor talent for hiding and pet attack good?
Is the what? Sorry?
I I put it in the Skype chat. Is the honor talent for hiding and pet attack good?
The honor talent. Yeah, see, I don't know which talent that is. Let me check. Cause
That's the one where your pet does
Yeah.
more damage if you're not attacking the same target.
okay.
Separation anxiety.
Uh-huh. I have no idea.
I mean, neither. I haven't looked at the. It's hard enough to keep track of all the talents people are
Oh
using.
my god.
Honor talents is a lot too.
I
love
mean,
it.
I assume this is a PvP talent for BM.
Yeah.
Yeah, so never even tried that. But I guess doesn't seem that good to me.
Seems good to me if kill command doesn't cancel it.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hiding
But
is
I don't
nice.
know if it does. It might.
But in that case, I'd worry you couldn't burst with your partner,
Yeah,
whatever
that's what we
DPS you're
need.
with.
That's why we need Dylan on the call Dilly Poo,
Oh yeah.
the PvPer. I'll send a note to him on Twitter and see if he can get him in for the next podcast.
But yeah, the PvP talents are really cool. I really like what they did with them. Because it seems to me, I don't even know what I want to pick, you know? Like, yeah, when I'm casually playing some PvP, which do I go for? So I think that's pretty cool. And how you unlock them by playing more, I like
Mhm.
it. And it also obviously made it a lot easier for them to balance stuff out. Because you don't really hear this anymore, I think, that, they nerfed this because of PvP.
Right.
They just nerf it only for PvP nowadays, so or they have these talents to adjust to change how a class performs in a PvP scenario, and without affecting your PvE.
I thought it was really
Performance.
interesting when watching the arena championships at BlizzCon. You know, you'd see it seemed to make a pretty big difference. So there's a few honor talents that every spec gets, as far as I can tell. Well, you know, like the trinket, whatever
Yep.
the old escape trinket or adaptation. So it makes it pretty interesting to see, you know, what little tricks they'll try to do to fool you into thinking they're taking one thing and not another. Where, you know, in the arena championships where you can't use add-ons to see what the other players have. So I thought it was really interesting change, fun.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all of our questions for today?
Yeah, that's all the chat. We have one email. It's really long, so maybe we'll save that for another day and keep our long tradition of maybe reading emails, maybe not. But
Well, if this is 249, we could read them on 250.
exactly. Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
that's
We're at another milestone there. I like those ones that end in 0 like that. That's pretty good. So. But I think, you know, we're closing in on an hour. I think with the late
sounds
start.
good, yeah.
So why don't we wrap it up and call it for today and say that you have been listening to episode 249 of the Hunting Party podcast. I am Darkbrew from thebrewhall.com and the Brew Hall on Twitter.
I'm Delerium from thrillofthewild.com and at Delerium Hunts on Twitter.
I'm Bendak from Eyes of the Beast, Blizzard Watch, and Bendak WoW on Twitter.
And I'm Roger Brown from methodwow.com and at methodroger on Twitter.
And I'm Foxy at Miss Logan on Twitter from Warcraft Hunters Union.
All right. Check us
Nice.
out on, I know it was very smooth. Like it. Check us out on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, or add our RSS feed to your reader, and we'll have all of these links available on our show notes.
If you have a question or a topic you would like us to discuss on the show, email us at huntingpartypodcast@gmail.com or send us a tweet at huntingpartypod.
All right. Stay thirsty, my friends, and remember to drink your dark brew lager.
Siempre prestar la emoción de lo salvaje.
Keep your eyes on the beast.
And find the true method of hunting.
Your turn, Foxy.
Foxy, say something.
Have a good day, guys.
All right.
Dark
I'm
Lady,
sorry.
watch over you.
I'm laughing at Roger.
Yeah, I like that you really emphasize method every
I know.
time, just in case somebody didn't get it.
I love it.
Good work, good work.
A life stealer, that's just the cost of being awesome sauce. I'm a dues payer, a boss slayer. I rock out with my lockout now. I'm a hunter. I'm a hunter. I'm a hunter. Viper to cheetah to dragon hawk. No time to waste, cause I can jump shot. BM, MM, and SV. I can rock out any tree. Never worried about my threat, cause I've got FD and misdirect. Catching loose mobs in my traps. I never miss, cause I am hit capped. Cause I'm the hunter, not the marked. I'm the fighter, not the spark. I'm the kiter, not the kite. I'll top meters every fight. Raiding and cave, dealing death. Just me, my gun, and my trusty bed. Now let's begin with Illidan, Osirian, and Gil'jadan, Magdamar, Asgalor, Gruul, Cthulhu, and Razorgore, Onyxia to Ragnaros. Which one have we killed the most? Kel'Thuzad to Malygos. We even killed Akama's ghost. Feels like we're getting close, all that running as a ghost. Anubarak, Yogg-Saron, Therian, Sartharian, Magthuridon, Sapuron, Lucifer to Sulfuron, Archon, Amalon, Coromon, Algalon. The faction champions, the death toll rolling on and on. Guard, Veil, Executus, Chromagus, Jarexus, Murmur, Kilthus. We won't stop till we kill our boss. I'm a hunter. I'm a hunter.